Yes, now we're on the home stretch and it's time to bring on our guest of the week. Well, her name is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And she's a Nigerian born in Enugu town on the, I won't say the year now, at the age of 19. It's okay, yeah? At the age of 19, Chimamanda left Nigeria and moved to the United States for college. She then moved to the United States. She attended a college there, graduating summa cum laude from Eastern Connecticut State with a major in communication and a minor in political science. I stopped there. Why? Political science. Because we're saying we need young Nigerians to go into politics. Well, you studied political science. You have an understanding of it. But I might as well add that she holds a master's degree in creative writing from Johns Hopkins and a master's degree in African studies from Yale. So, let's start with your political science.
No, I don't intend to run for office.
I mean, that was straight to the point.
Yeah. You will not be running for the office. No. Politics is not something you will give consideration
It's something I'm very interested in, right? But it's not something I think I can do. I think that there's so many compromises that are involved that I just don't think I can do. But I think every Nigerian who cares about Nigeria at some point considers, I can go and do this and show them I can do it better, right?
Yeah.
But, no, I just want to tell stories.
Okay, let's come back.
You want to tell stories?
Yeah.
So you just want to keep writing?
Yes.
All right.
But also, I think that societies need their storytellers as much as they need their politicians. So.
True. So in terms of storytelling, when you look at the books you've put together over the last few years or over your career in writing, so to say, what has informed the string of stories? Because it's being told from an African perspective, from a Nigerian, and also it's got a lot of background related to where you're coming from and your culture. So what has informed that?
I think we write what we know, and it's interesting to me that often I'm asked about, because I don't know if anybody asked Shakespeare why he wrote about
England in his time,
right? Or Dickens why he wrote about London. I think we write what we know and we write what we care about. So of course all of my work is going to be Nigerian in some way because my sensibility is Nigerian, and it never occurs to me to have to explain it or to have to justify it.
Well, someone wrote a book about a nigger at Eton. It was part of his experience as well. So, and you have experience going to school in America, so you could pick on things that from over there which you could write about, because it's also part of your experience.
It is, but I think that, my latest novel is...
Americana.
Well, it's called Americana. Yes. Americana, you have to pronounce it properly. Americana. It's a Nigerian word. I have to make sure to let everybody know. But it's still a Nigerian story. It's America seen through Nigerian eyes. So it's still really Nigerian, right? So it's sort of the lenses through which I look at this new world are Nigerian. So I consider it a Nigerian story.
Okay, now tell us how you started writing. You wrote your first book at a pretty young age. So how did all that start?
Young being relative.
Well, it is all the time, isn't it?
I started writing when I was maybe 4 or 5. I've been writing for as long as I can remember. I don't remember when I didn't write.
What were you writing about at that very young age?
Oh Lord, I was copying the books I was reading. So I was an early reader. I've always been an person. I love books, and when I started to write, I was writing the kinds of things I was reading, which meant that I was writing about people who lived in England. And I was writing about realities that were not mine at all, because I thought, books had to be things in which white people played in the snow, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I think this is true for many, many young children who start to write young, and because you're very much influenced by what you read, I think. Literature has so much power. And really, I don't know that I consciously knew when I started writing that I could write about my own reality, because I hadn't seen it reflected back at me through books. So I started writing.
So how did you come to that reality then?
It was discovering African fiction, which happened a bit later. Because when I was quite young, I didn't read any African books. All of the children's books, there were a series that we had, Kathy and Mark. They just weren't
Enid Blyton's?
Yeah, those two. Those,
okay.
Yeah.
Famous Five and Secret Seven.
Yeah. Mallory Towers.
Mallory Towers, St. Clair's.
Yes.
The whole works. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to the issue of, do we have those kind of short stories that young people can read today in Nigeria? Do we have writers who are filling that gap,
yes,
creating that opportunity for young people?
We do, but it could be better.
Okay.
I think it's much better than it was when I was growing up, but there's still a long way to go. I think it could be better, but yes, we do. I mean, but also I think that parents have to make an effort. You have to go out looking for books of that sort, because usually what happens is you go in to get children's books, it's going to be, they're all going to be foreign. So you really have to go looking in particular bookstores and, sort of make the demand for them. But they're there, not as many as I would like them to be, but they're there.
Do you think that Nigerian children are reading as much as they should?
No. But here's
and what
my
do you
question.
think is responsible for that?
Well, here's my question. Do you have children?
Do I have children personally?
Yes.
Well, they're grown up now.
Okay. Did they read?
Yes, they did.
Do you know if that's because you made the effort? Do you know why?
Because I made the effort. I got them the books, so they had to read them.
I really think it's about, I think our school system is failing young people. But I also think that parents are not doing enough. Right? So people constantly ask me, what are we going to do about our reading culture? And I say to them, what did you do this morning with your children? What did you do last week? And I like to joke about, instead of buying recharge card, buy a book. You really don't need to make that phone call. And I think also it's so important. It's not just because, obviously I'm biased because I love books and I'm a writer, but also I just think it doesn't matter if you're a physicist or a doctor or it doesn't matter what you are. If you can't be articulate. Reading narrative helps you it's not just about storybook, as our people say, right? It's also that narrative trains your mind. It not only makes you communicate better, it makes you think in a linear way. And I just find that when people don't read, I think it affects how people think. And it's such a shame, our education system. I was fortunate when I went to primary school in Nsukka. I went to the university primary school, and we had a fantastic library. And I feel so grateful for that, because I think it really has to start very early. I think that foundation was laid for me, and that's why, for me, books are so important. And I just wish that, young Nigerians had access to that. I wish,
Well, there are no libraries anymore. Children are permanently on the internet, and we can't even monitor what they're doing on the internet. So, looks like the loss is forever.
No.
But should we give up?
Let's not be pessimistic. No, we shouldn't. But also, I think technologies can coexist. I don't think that the internet. I hear a lot of parents. People will read. I like the internet, but I like books. I think that they can coexist. I think it's really about making children see books as something, as a fun exercise, as sort of something to look forward to. Buy them books, make books fun, talk about books with them. And I don't think that Facebook and whatever else young people do will take. I don't think so.
No. But another thing is that where are the books? You can't even find them to buy them.
No, they're there. They're there.
You always hear about e-books now.
Well, yes, those two. I think those are very viable alternatives.
Yes.
And I actually think that's going to be the future of publishing and reading on our continent, because one of the major problems publishers have here is distribution. Just getting the books where you want them to be. And I think increasingly now that people have their phones, where they do the internet thing on their phones, I think in the next 20 years we're going to be reading books on our phones.
Yes, but definitely. And,
we are reading on our phones already, aren't we?
But not books, because we end up reading text messages.
Well, you have books on your iPhones.
Oh, yeah, on your iPhone.
Yes.